Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another session of The Sanctuary. This is our space for reflection, growth, and connection. I'm your girl and guide, Mariah Miles, licensed therapist, ordained minister, and overall creative. And today's session is fresh off the press. This is a continuous podcast typically, so no breaks. And while I often pre-record episodes a few weeks in advance, this one comes straight from my recent adventures outside the state, so you know I'm a buzz. And also where I fell in love all over again. And as we continue our theme of presence this month of June, we'll keep rocking with that. So far we've explored somatic practices like awareness and our safe place. I hope you've been practicing those, but I'm super excited to continue to dive a little bit deeper into how living life fully helps us understand ourselves better. I know, feels like we haven't done that, right? I feel like that's all we're doing, and I love it. But stay with me to the end, because life has a way of pushing us to uncover new layers of understanding, just when we think that we have it all figured out. A new experience unfolds, reminding us that that journey is ever evolving. And of course, we keep following along with the prompted journal, Busy Minds, Peaceful Hearts. So sit back, relax. It's time to tune in. No, traveling really is such a privilege. It offers us a chance to step out of our everyday lives and into these new experiences that can reshape how we see ourselves, along with the world around us. I recently took a trip to Puerto Rico, and it was a perfect example of this. I was wandering these really vibrant streets, and I felt this deep connection to the culture, to the warmth of the people, to the rhythm of the music. I could feel it like in my bones and in my body. The rich traditions that unite them. It was really like this warm embrace that welcomed us with open arms. But here's the thing. Travel also brings up these pesky limiting beliefs that we all carry and that we've been talking about. You know, those whispers. What if I can't do this? Or what if I embarrass myself? What if this is too much for me? What if I'm not ready? And I definitely felt that in some capacity throughout this trip. And I especially felt I don't want to do this when my mom suggested that we take a salsa class on the beach. Okay, so talking about stepping out of my comfort zone. I mean, I took dance and stopped probably when I was 12 or 13. That was enough for me. But my mom, she's all about those classes, Zumba, whatever else they teach her at the gym. And I'm for it. But I do remember standing there feeling a little blasé. This thought of dancing in front of others, probably not a big deal to me, but I realized that this was the perfect opportunity to confront some fears. So I said yes. And let me tell you, it was exhilarating. Because as we danced under the sun until it set, beautiful, might I add, with this picturesque landscape of the ocean, I felt a surge of joy. Because with each step, it really was a reminder that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to let go. It's okay to just be in the moment. It was beautiful, this lesson, in embracing discomfort and discovering the freedom that comes from it. Traveling invites us to break free from those limiting beliefs, because each time we say yes to new experiences, it's like we're signaling to the universe that we're ready for growth. It's like saying, I'm here, I'm open, I trust this journey. And sharing these moments with my kids is so incredibly special. I wanted them to see that stepping outside their comfort zones can lead to amazing discoveries about themselves. Because every time they face a fear, like trying new foods, or in my son's instance, saying yes to hiking the rainforest when you fear snakes, or most new experiences, and you know there are snakes in the rainforest. I kid you not. But when you face that fear, they get to learn that bravery often comes hand in hand with joy. And you can't teach that in a classroom. That's a lived, embodied experience that feels different, that hits different. So that the next time something scary comes up, our body says, hey, I got this. And I think that ultimately travel teaches us that it's perfectly okay to feel uncertain, to feel afraid even, because it's part of being human. But the key is leaning into those feelings, understanding that they're not barriers, but maybe they're gateways to new experiences, maybe deeper connections. And so when we step into this new environment, we're not just changing our physical location, but we're engaging with this, well, in this case, really exquisite culture, their traditions and perspectives. And my kids had the chance to experience the warmth that I was talking about, that Puerto Rican hospitality, all those vibrant colors. I got to share that with them. They also got to experience some really delicious coffee. Yeah, my kids are teens, so they're practically adults. They love them some iced latte. But these experiences, I think, fosters this sense of curiosity and appreciation for diversity. And I keep comparing it to the classroom because I think it goes well beyond four walls. And before my kids even started school, I had suggested to my former spouse, their father, that, hey, what if we homeschooled them and just like traveled around the US, just exploring, learning the different ways of being? Because even here, there's so many different cultures, right? That didn't happen. He wasn't excited. And then I threw out there, hey, what if we lived in the countryside of France and traveled throughout that side and in that way? I don't know if you're gathering, but I have a lot of big ideas sometimes. And I do make them happen, but not in this case. But traveling really teaches us so many things. Things like empathy. Because as we interact with people from these different backgrounds, we learn to see the world through their eyes. At least for me, we try. Right? If we know how to be curious and know how to actively listen. Because I think those are skills that we're not often taught or often encouraged to explore, to foster. And listen, we don't have to travel far from home to do this. There are so many cultures within our very own communities. What would it be like to talk to someone new? To be curious and actively listen in that conversation, in that experience. Because this exchange of experiences really bridges the gap. It fosters this understanding, reminding us that despite our differences, we share common human experiences. There was a few years ago where I used to joke that because I make people feel so comfortable, that I often was this bridge this bridge maker where people would ask me some really inappropriate questions because I think they felt like I was a safe enough person to ask. And that made me feel some kind of way, and I resisted it for a long time. And I think that, again, that's okay. That's not what I'm talking about here. The bridging is more like about connection. The issue that I find is travel should be accessible to everyone, but we all know it's not. I feel like it shouldn't just be for the privileged or the select few, because everyone deserves the chance to explore, to learn, to grow through new experiences. And we can have new experiences in many different ways. But I mean, just imagine how different the world could be if everyone had the opportunity to travel and to connect with others. And there are some school-based opportunities for students. And so if you're interested in that, I would look into it if that applies to you or someone you know. But ultimately, facing these limiting beliefs is all about reclaiming our power. So when we recognize that these beliefs aren't truths, but maybe they're obstacles, maybe we can start to break them down a little bit, right? With every little step we take. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like a side note here, do you ever say something and it just keeps reminding you of a song and you hear the song playing? I'm not going to sing the song now, but I think most of you might know this song. Anyways, it doesn't matter how small the step is. But if we just take one toward overcoming these fears, it opens up incredible opportunities for growth. And so for me, traveling isn't just about changing my scenery. It's about finding inspiration to transform and deepening my connections with the world around me. Earlier, I mentioned that every time we say yes to life, we're signaling to the universe that we're ready for growth and new experiences. And it's that emotional awareness that really supports this. It's really important. It plays such a big role. Because when we say yes, it's as if we're telling life, I'm listening. I'm accepting this opportunity. Yes, please give me more of these experiences, right? Do you feel me here? I am here for it, and I am ready for this work. It's this mindset that opens us up to possibilities that we might not have had. We might have maybe overlooked them. But to truly embrace these opportunities, we need to check in with our feelings regularly. And I realized how essential it was to pause and reflect on what I was experiencing in the moment, because sometimes things feel so novelty when you're in a different space. And so you might need a little bit more clarity. Sometimes I found myself hesitating about how I felt about something. And I think it's okay to take that pause. And by giving ourselves permission to explore our emotions, we gain the clarity about our desires and our intentions. I think this clarity can guide us in making decisions that really align with our true selves. I don't like to be rushed when I'm thinking or when I'm feeling into something. I want to really feel it. And when we encounter uncertainty, the uncertainty might be like a maybe or a not quite feeling. So instead of rushing to a conclusion, what would it be like if we just took our time to reflect? I think that would be pretty incredibly beneficial because it allows us to navigate our feelings without that pressure of an immediate response. And sometimes the pressure of the immediate response might lead to regret. So here are a few reflection questions that I have conjured up for you to consider as you think about your own emotional awareness. If you have a notebook or a journal, you might want to jot this down, or even your phone in your notes section, right? And so the first one is, what limiting beliefs have I faced that hold me back from new experiences? The next one, how can I cultivate a deeper sense of emotional awareness in my daily life? And then, in what ways can I engage with and appreciate the cultures around me? And lastly, how can I create opportunities for connection and empathy in my interactions with others? So I definitely encourage you to take some time after this session to sit with these questions. Reflecting on them can really help you navigate your own experience with greater clarity and intention. At least that's my intention for you. And I like spontaneous experiences. I really do. But there's also this part of me that needs to go slow. It wants to protect the parts of me that aren't fully ready, or maybe they're scared. And sometimes I just have to trust and let go. And on the real, sometimes this works out the way I think, and other times it was just an experience, and that's okay too. Sometimes when I have an experience, I get caught up in the memory. Has anyone else ever experienced that? The feeling of the memory. It's almost like a fantasy. And I'm going to give you permission to say that that's okay too. Because these are all experiences that are shifting whatever is going on with you, wherever you need to be. It's about emotional awareness, which isn't just about recognizing feelings, but it's about creating this dialogue with ourselves by being attuned to our emotions. When that happens, then we can respond to life's invitations with this authenticity and confidence. It's that sense of power that I was talking about. Empowering ourselves to embrace the new. As I continue to reflect, I find myself pondering this concept of culture, right? Because culture really has this profound impact on our identity, our sense of belonging. And on my trip, I really did feel like I had been enveloped. And what I mean by that is it was such a resonant reminder of how culture shapes our experiences and our sense of self. One of the things that really struck me the most was the strong sense of unity among Puerto Rican people. Their cultures, their traditions, their community. It creates this bond that just brings them together. And it got me thinking. It made me reflect on my own cultural heritage and question how my identity is influenced by the environment I live in. it almost makes me feel kind of sad living in the United States. I often feel this sense of disconnection from like a cohesive cultural identity, if that makes sense. Because with so many diverse backgrounds, and although I identify as being Black, my ancestors also come from many different lineage. And I think that when you have mixed heritages, you have this kind of the freedom nowadays. I want to be very clear. Nowadays, you have this freedom to use it any way that it serves you best, right? So maybe in middle school, I might have told people, I have a grandmother who is Filipino, because maybe that served me in that time, which it kind of did, because I went to school with some kids of different cultures that felt important to them. But I don't really say that now because I don't really feel like I identify with that culture so much. And sometimes it's just easier to say one instead of many. And I am one, but I come from many. It can sometimes feel like we lack this singular narrative that unites us. At least for me, that's been my experience. And this disconnection, I feel like, can create this longing for belonging, really. Something that I have definitely observed in my own reflections during my trip and throughout my life, really. And all different communities that I am a part of. And maybe it's the disconnection that connects us because so many of us feel that. But being in Puerto Rico helped me appreciate the importance of cultural ties. Because it's not just about celebrating the traditions, really, but it's about feeling rooted in something greater than ourselves. This sense of belonging that fosters a community where individuals can thrive together. Doesn't that just sound so good? I want to be a part of a community where I can really have a deep sense, a deep feeling within my body that we are thriving, we are uplifting one another. I realize that every new experience has the potential to open different parts of ourselves. It encourages us to explore our identities and understand where we come from and how that influences who we are today. And no, this isn't new information. I've reflected in these spaces before, and even some in these sessions with us together. But it's just one of those beautiful reminders. They come our way. I think that this exploration can also really lead to a deeper understanding of what we value, maybe how we connect with others. That reminder that cultural identity can be a source of strength. And I think that that's why many people are so proud of where they come from. It provides us with this framework through which we can almost navigate the complexities of life. We have to believe in something greater than ourselves. The world is sometimes too hard not to. And each culture really offers such unique perspectives and these insights that can help us grow and connect more deeply with one another if we just embrace the richness that comes from diverse experiences. Yes, as promised, I fell in love. This time with the essence of being open to the unknown. What did you think I was going to say? I think I truly, really did embrace this unfolding of a new part of myself. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. A few months ago, during one of my meditations, I had a whisper. And the whisper was that in 3 full moons, I would be giving birth. Not in the physical sense, obviously, that's too short, but to a transformation of sorts. And I didn't know what it would be. But I'm absolutely loving the energy of it. If this is it, I'm loving it. Sign me up for more of this, please. It's enchanting how this island really captivated me. I mean, y'all, I was walking along the beach under the full moon. And the way that the moonlight kind of danced on the waves, mesmerizing. The ocean had this feeling of being alive, kind of whispering her secrets and inviting me to connect with not just her, but the beauty all around me. I think it was really exhilarating and calming, all mixed together somehow. It just soothed me in that way that I didn't even know I needed. This deep sense of peace and connection. And not just to the environment, but to something greater than myself. Oh my goodness, I wish I could relive that moment. I felt deeply connected to the magic of life. What are the chances, right? But I said yes to the universe. And that's a reminder of how powerful our environments can be in shaping our emotions and our experiences. I encourage you to consider the magic in your own surroundings, because you don't have to go far to find the magic. So whether that's a walk in nature, or maybe a moment that you spend with your loved ones, I don't know. These experiences can just awaken different parts of ourselves and remind us of the beauty and connection. So I'm going to invite you to take a breath with me now, breathing in and let it go. And maybe you pause and journal. Anything coming up for you? I heard this quote. It's kind of like a mixture of things. Again, nothing new, but maybe you ponder this. We start out alone, right? We're birthed into this world, we're alone. We all know this. We die alone. I think we know this too. But then we spend our lives in the in-between, trying to reconnect to meaningful connections, to that essence of that magic that came before and that will come after. Something about that, right? Today's somatic practice is a grounding exercise. It's called mountain pose. I'm going to also kind of bring in some nourishing energy of the earth in a guided visualization. And so I invite you to find a comfortable position, either standing or seated, or maybe even lying down might be best. If you're standing, I invite you to place your feet hip width apart, grounding the edges of your feet into the earth. And if you're seated, maybe you feel your sit bones pressing into the chair or ground beneath you. And if you're lying down on the floor, just feeling the weight of your body sinking in and being held. If you're standing, begin to distribute your weight evenly across both of your feet. Feeling the connection to the ground. Imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet, reaching deep into the earth, anchoring you firmly. I invite you to gently close your eyes or lower your gaze. And take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely. And then exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension. With each inhale, envision drawing up energy from the earth through those roots. Feel the warmth and stability of the ground below you, filling your body with strength. As you stand tall, imagine a string gently pulling the crown of your head upward, lengthening your spine. Feel the connection between the earth and the sky. As you embody the strength of a mountain, gently bring your arms alongside your body. And as you inhale, raise them overhead, fingers reaching toward the sky. Imagine gathering the energy of the sun, of the sky, filling your body with light and vitality. With each exhale, lower your arms back down to your sides or bring them to your heart center, palms together. And feeling the grounding energy from the earth supporting you, helping you to stay rooted in this moment. As you hold this pose, perhaps you reflect on the experiences that we've discussed today. What insights resonate with you? How can you embody the strength of a mountain as you navigate your own journey? And bringing your awareness to your breath, syncing the breath with the elements around us. Inhale deeply, visualizing the earth's energy flowing up through your roots. And as you exhale, releasing any stress or distractions back into the ground. Inhaling again, drawing in the warmth and strength of the earth. And as you exhale, feeling more grounded, more centered. And when you're ready, gently begin to bring your awareness back to your surroundings, allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm, feeling the weight of your body, wiggling your fingers, your toes, feeling the sensations in your body. And when you feel ready, slowly opening your eyes or lifting your gaze, returning fully to this present moment. As we finish up today's session, I'm still sitting with the idea of magic, the magic of connection, both with ourselves and the world around us. Because when we truly connect with who we are, we unlock this, it feels kind of corny to say, but I really feel like it's true, this reservoir of potential and inspiration that's already within us. It's just there, waiting for us to tap into it. And sometimes the circumstances around us just have to be ever so right for that unfolding. Each experience that we have, each person that we meet, is a reflection of our own inner landscape. When we embrace this authentic version of ourselves, we open the door to these deeper connections, these richer experiences, and they often feel like magic. Saying yes to life, to new adventures, to the unknown, allows us to tap into that magic. It's a reminder that we have the power to shape our journeys, that with every little step we take towards connection is a step toward getting closer and unveiling that true part of us. And so as you move through your day, through your week, remember that the connections that you cultivate, whether they're with people or experiences, they're literally mirroring the beauty and depth that resides within you. So if you don't like what you see, just saying, but embrace that magic. Let it guide you on that path. Let it give you meaning for just being alive. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here and joining me today. Until next time, may you continue to explore, to connect, to discover the wonders that lie within you. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a session here at this sanctuary. And maybe share this with a friend. You never know who might need to hear this, that they got that magic in them. So embrace each breath. And remember that our bodies have this innate wisdom the beautiful ability to heal itself. And you know we heal best in community. Love and light. Peace, y'all. While this podcast may feel like a therapeutic conversation, it is important to note that it is not a substitute for professional therapy or mental health. The information shared here is intended solely for educational purposes and should not be used as a replacement for personalized mental health care. Although I am a therapist, I'm not acting as your therapist in this setting. If you are in need of support, please reach out to a qualified mental health professional.